What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin. So, we're doing a Mecha Slash style video, though on like Mecha Slash. I'm not filming myself on my dorm room, dorm room bed or whatever, right? We're just doing audio. But yeah, I was watching Perch's video, and I completely disagree with his take, which is like his videos like why the big companies are not in trouble people think they are in. It's pretty and this is a response to like a lot of people are speculating that DC Comics is screwed and they're gonna have their comics division shut down by Discovery, right? Like a week ago, I was on a stream with. I wasn't on the stream. I was commenting on the stream. I was on Tony Di Girolamo stream, and this guy is like what used to be a screenwriter. He had like a TV show, a comic book TV show, and I think he said before that he used to run a comic book shop. And with all the stuff that's going on with the DC Comics, Warner Brothers and Discovery merger, and DC Comics is like owned by Warner Brothers. I don't know exactly when that happened, but yeah. So I asked him, "Hey man, what do you think about DC Comics, like the merger? Do you think DC Comics is gonna be like I can't remember exactly what I said, but I asked him like, "Oh, do you think DC Comics is screwed, or can they turn it around?" He said, "Undoubtedly, they are fucking screwed. They're gonna get their shit. They're gonna get shut down and their shit licensed out." And you can even see that Jim Lee and them are panicking because they announced a bunch of new shit. Where like Jim Lee's gonna go work on a comic, Mark Silvestri's gonna go work on a comic. They're bringing back Wildstorm and Wildcat, something that people have been fucking asking for a long ass time. My own opinion on that is, would have been. I think it's great they're gonna bring back Wildstorm. I don't want Wildstorm to be part of the DCU. Maybe have crossovers once in a while. But like, it should be its own fucking separate thing, man. Fuck. There's enough fucking characters in the Wildstorm imprint that it could be its own fucking thing, right? But yeah, I'm just like I completely disagree with Perch on this one, man. If you have like, I know Perch himself, he's like has some fucking is like an ex-pro or something. He said like I don't know exactly what he did in the comic book industry, but he used to do something, right? But it's like when you have all these comic pros, ex comic book shop owners and people who own stores are like, yeah, DC Comics is fucking screwed. Which even my local comic book shop guy has started to like limit how many new comics he gets. Most of the new comics on his shelf, on the new comics wall, is like indie shit, like Image, Coffin, even Coffin Verse, right? Which maybe I'll pick up some of their comics to review them. And it's like, it's pretty obvious, like, yeah, is Marvel screwed? Marvel might not be screwed because they're like, they tried to license out, they tried to get Dark Horse or whatever to do some of their comics, and then like they were terrible, so like they were like, oh fuck it, just have our Marvel people do it. So I think Marvel might be safe for now, but DC Comics is definitely screwed. They fucking axed a $70 million movie. You think they axed a $7 million movie because they thought the movie probably would have gone bad reviews, right? And what are the comics nowadays getting? They're getting bad reviews. Well, maybe they're not getting bad reviews, and the shill like companies, the shill news outlets and whatever. But their sales are fucking terrible compared to like the fucking manga, right? So obviously Saslov is not going to be is obviously going to be thinking maybe we should just fucking license this shit out. I think they should just do what they DC used to do in the 2000s and hire fucking offers to fucking write the comics. Don't get these fucking shitty web bloggers and journalists and people who like write for like really shitty like geek nerdy websites when they're not even really geeks or nerds, right? They need to go back to the old method, like the old like method, like what they did in the 90s and 2000s. Hired offers, right? Because what did people think Alan Moore did before he started writing comics? He wrote fucking books, right? You know, you had like what's his name? Not Brian K. Vaughan. Brian Metzler, the guy who did what was it called? Identity Crisis. He was an author. Victor Geschler was an author before he wrote for Deadpool, right? He's one of my favorite comic book writers. I don't know if I put him on my list because I only read like 2 series. I read more than 2 series that he did, but it was like Deadpool and X-Men. That's right. But yeah, they need to fucking like DC Comics is fucking screwed. I'm kind of hoping that if they do shut down the comics division, I'm hoping that they keep the characters together. But who the fuck knows, man? Yeah. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, I think DC Comics is fucked. Like, if DC Comics, like we've already talked about this, but on like Kevin Street's channel. But I think what they need to do is they need to start copying the manga manga and anime, where you get rid of the floppies, you sell trades, and then you make Warner Brothers produce cartoons based off runs from the comic, like famous comic runs. Like do a cartoon version of like Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Grant Morrison's Animal Man would be good. Maybe like Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run would be good. Or like also do like George Perez and what's his name? Wolfman. Marv Wolfman's Teen Titans. That's what they should do. Is that way you have the cartoon. It's the same. You would do the same thing that manga does, where the animes you produce anime or cartoons. Because like what happens is a lot of the animes that get made off manga, people watch that. And while they're waiting for new seasons to come out, they go out and buy the manga to read it, right? To figure out, okay, what's happening next. So you just basically produce cartoons off famous runs, and then reprint the runs, and then people watch the cartoons and like, oh man, I need to go read the comics. So the cartoons are basically just advertisement for the fucking comics, right? That's what DC really fucking needs to do, man. And that will help the That will help the sales of the comics, and you will also help promote, like, IPs, right? So, like, hey, if a cartoon, like if you made like a Doom Patrol cartoon and it sold really well and like people love it, and made the comics sell pretty well, then okay, then we should make we should make a Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol movie, which is everybody wants, right? I didn't like the fucking um I didn't like the fucking CW show or whatever, HBO Max show, whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's what they should do, and that and yeah. But when I say cartoon, or I should have said animated series. But like, don't make it for like kids. Make it for like teens or whatever, and just put that shit on HBO Max or whatever, or Discovery Plus or whatever the fuck. All the DC shit is going to go on to. So that's my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.